Fear of failure in sports involves the fear of making a mistake. The failures can be large or they can be small, but either way, the fear that is present has a huge impact on your performance. Hey there, I'm Eli Strawman, a performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. In this 4-part series, you're going to learn what fear of failure is, the cause of the fear of failure, how it holds you back and hurts your game, some pre-game exercises that you can use to reduce the fear of failure, and then a way that you can use failure to elevate your game. Now, it can help when defining fear of failure to identify some of the main things that you may be afraid of as an athlete, because it really isn't the mistake itself that you're afraid of, but the consequences of making the mistake. That's where fear of failure really thrives within sports. When you think about all the possible things that could happen or all the things that could go wrong if you were to fail. So here are some of the most common fears that athletes have when it comes to the fear of failure. One is feeling embarrassed if they make a mistake, getting benched if they make a mistake, having teammates mad at them if they make a mistake, messing up and never being able to reach their goals, getting yelled at by their coach for making a mistake, letting their parents down if they are to fail, beating themselves up, so some negative self-talk if they make a mistake, having their stats drop if they make a mistake, having all their training not really be worth it because they fail, losing their starting spot for the next game if they fail during practice. Do any of those sound familiar? They are very common because as an athlete, you want to do your best. But what can often happen is with the fear of failure, your focus is on not wanting to make a mistake more than it's on how much you want to succeed. And that really begins to show us the true cause of the fear of failure in sports. During a game or during practice, you are focused on what may happen. The more you think about what might happen in the future and how much you don't want to make a mistake, the more fear you are creating. It is your focus on the future that's driving the fear of failure. But that's not going to be all of it. There's another piece that works to truly solidify this fear in your mind as an athlete, and that is a negative past experience. Just as focusing on the future drives fear, thinking too much about the past will also lead to fear, especially if what you're focusing on is a time when you failed. When you have a negative past experience, that can be the leaping off point for you to develop this fear. Let's say that you made a mistake to end the game and coach yells at you. Not only are you embarrassed, but you're also incredibly disappointed in yourself and you can feel like you let your teammates down. If that moment isn't processed correctly and then left in the past, it can keep haunting you in the games moving forward. Even if you're not consciously thinking about it, it may be lurking in the back of your mind and causing more fear. And so when you have a negative past experience, coupled with a focus in the present about what you don't want to have happen in the future, that's what's truly causing you to experience this fear of failure. Now, why is it that this fear of failure is bad? Since you obviously don't want to make a mistake, how come it's such a terrible way of thinking to be afraid of making a mistake? Well, when you are afraid to fail, you typically underperform. And this is because the fear of failure causes you to play timidly. So go ahead and click right here to watch the next video in the series on how fear of failure is going to cause you to play timidly during games.